Thank you very much, everybody, for coming. Thankful that you guys came here today to listen to me talk about real estate and how to really master expireds. I've been in this industry since 1999 when I got out of college. I went into the mortgage side and did lending for 12, 13 years. I started out closing loans, then I jumped over to underwriting them, then I went into selling them. Then I went on the back end and was selling them to Wall Street on the secondary market. There isn't something on mortgages that I don't know because I've done every facet of them. So when the mortgage industry, when the market goes up and down, it's very cyclical. Mortgage companies hire, then when the market tanks, the mortgage companies fire. I was fired probably 4 times in, 10 years. Got to a point when I was broke. I owed about $60,000 in credit card debt. I had to move back into my parents and live in their basement, and I was 36 at the time. So it was a very emasculating and depressing time for me. I met someone who is my mentor now, Fidel, who knows who he is. His name's Aaron. Took me under his wing and basically said, if you do these things, you will change. You will earn money consistently in real estate. You will list in high volume, and you'll build your database to where it just keeps feeding you. 4 or 5 years, but that actually starts happening, and now it's happening. Whereas last year, I barely prospected at all because my father got very ill and passed away, and I still did 8 million in volume, and I don't even think I called anybody last year, but it was my database calling me back, hey, we're gonna be listing this building. Hey, we're gonna be listing this building. So I like to create raving fans. I'm gonna show you how to do the same thing. And at the same time, I'm gonna show you how to master. When you call expireds, if you're listing 1 to 2 homes a month, what if I said to you, you can list another 1 to 2 homes a month just by calling them every day for 2 to 3 hours? Instead of listing 18 homes a year, 20 homes a year, which is a little more than 1 a month, now you have 30, 35 listings just by calling this lead source once a day for 2 to 3 hours. It is a lead source that continuously feeds because every day listings expire. And why do they expire? I'll throw that question out to you. Why do you think listings expire? They don't sell. Go. That's exactly right. They're not priced right. My next seminar I'm going to do is on how to properly price property, so you never have to worry about that. But that's why real estate doesn't sell. It's one reason. The seller will tell you 1,000 reasons why their property didn't sell. It is one reason. Wasn't priced right. So this lead source constantly feeds. So let me ask you this. How many lead sources do you, so Eric, how many lead sources do you have in your database? Like what feeds you every month? Only 2. Okay. What about you, Fidel?
Say 4.
You have 4. Maria?
3.
Okay. I have 6. And I'm going to show you which ones they are. Expired, for sale by owner, probate, circle of influence and sphere, third-party referrals. Okay, so the circle of influence and sphere is the same. So it's like one or 2. And then you have your third-party referrals, which is like your home lights and, Fast Expert, iBuyer, those kinds of things. So those all, I can prospect any of those at any given time. And just listed, just sold. That's the other one. That's the 6th. You can call them at any time and know how to prospect them. Now, do you guys know the difference between low-hanging fruit with leads and high-hanging fruit?
Low-hanging fruit would be like Facebook, as far as they're ready, like people list.
That's 100%. 100%. One of the big reasons I've noticed people don't like calling them is because they don't want to be told no. They're a little bit probably afraid of rejection, which is okay. The second reason is they don't know what to say. That's why you wouldn't call somebody, because you don't know what to say. So we're going to go over right now questions that you're going to ask a seller when you get on the phone with them. Don't be nervous. Just call them and just hit these questions. You're going to hit these one at a time. I'm telling you, if you follow this script, I'll give it to you in the end. If you follow this script, you will get appointments. Call 100 expireds, you will get 1. Okay? You might need to call 100 of them to get 1 appointment, but you'll get it. Now, that's in this market. When you're in a really strong market where, people are constantly listing and selling and inventory is not low like it is now, you can use, the ratio is generally like 1 out of every 20 to 25 contacts, you'll get an appointment on an expired. Now you have to call a lot more people now. Why? Because inventory is very low. And the biggest reason why is like it's over 9 out of 10 people right now have an interest rate that is 2 to 3% lower than your prevailing rate right now. So there's no incentive for them to sell. Whereas they would have before, there isn't any now, because they're going to buy at 6 or 7% when they have 2 and 3 and 4. So that's why your inventory is a lot lower. So what we're now looking for, we're looking for people that have what we call life events. What's a life event? Divorce, job relocation, or upsizing because they're having to, they're expanding their family, downsizing, kids are out in college, they don't need the big house anymore. Unfortunately, somebody passes away. Those are life events. So those are people that absolutely need to sell. That's who we're looking for when we call these expireds. Because a lot of times you'll find these are just people that listed their home to see what they could get. Hey, if I sell it, great. If I don't, I can just keep it. That's not somebody I want to work with. So you pick up the phone and you guys are going to get ready. All right, we're going to start calling expireds. And you pick up and he says, hello. The first thing I say is, hi, I was calling about the home that was for sale on Main Street. Is this the owner? And he's going to say, yeah. But they're going to generally be really annoyed because, again, they've been called 100 times. So they're either going to say something like, yeah, who's this? Or, oh, is this an agent? Are you another agent? Hey, can appreciate that, sir. My name's Daniel. Now, in this area, you got to talk real quick. My name's Daniel, local real estate agent. Just wanted to reach out to you. Notice your homes came off the market as an expired listing. Curious to see if you're going to be, interviewing agents again for the job of getting it sold. Now they're going to tell you usually one of two things. Nope. Or, yeah, we're not listening right now. We're going to do it in a month. Call me back in a month. Whatever they can to get you off the phone. So this is where your gumption has to come in, because usually a human's natural reaction is to retreat when someone tells you no. So I need you to barrel forward. Hey, I could totally appreciate that. I was looking at the home, great neighborhood, looking at the pictures, it looks really nice. I was a little confused. Was there a particular reason you were even looking to sell it in the first place? Now you're getting their motivation, why they're doing it. And this is where you're going to find out if this is a life event or not. Yeah, we were going to, my mother-in-law lives in Miami and we're going to move down there because, we're going to be taking care of her. Okay, hey, and then obviously what's most important to you is time here. How soon are you looking to make that transition happen? Okay, now we're going to get time, So what we've done now is we've already asked them what their motivation is. And that's the most important thing, is why they're doing what they're doing. Because I guarantee you, 9 out of 10 agents that are calling them are not asking that question. They're going to tell them, I can sell your house. Here's what I can do. One of the crazy questions they say is, are you familiar with the techniques I use to sell homes? This is a cold call. Like, of course they don't know because they've never talked to you. It's an insane question, but it's been asked on other platforms. So the motivation is the most important thing. Is there a particular reason you were looking to sell the home in the first place? Well, I just wanted to see what I can get. I wanted $600,000. Well, I noticed the property came off the market at $600,000. Are you going to be listing it at that price? Or are you open to, making an adjustment more in line with what's selling in the area? No, we want 600. Okay, and if if an offer came in cash, say 580, would you take that? No, we want 600. That's somebody I don't want to work with. Hey, you know what? I totally appreciate that. I'm sure there's an agent out there that's going to be able to help you out. I wish you the best. Good luck on the sale. On to the next. That's not a life event for me. So I don't want to work with them. So, because think about it, you're bringing them an offer that's almost what they're listing for, and they're telling you no. And I've had that happen. One of the things I always want to get from them, even if I'm not going to work with them, is their email address. Yeah, hey, I'm going to send you a package of information in preparation for us connecting. What's the best email address for you? And they'll, again, even if they're not, going to work with you, you can get their email and just put it into your email drip. Hey, I can send you, market updates. Has anybody ever sent you market updates in your local area every month to tell you what's going on? No. Okay. I'd love to do that. Well, be open to sharing your email with me so I can send you those updates. Now they're in your email drip. The goal here is to keep them on the phone. Their goal is to get you off the phone as quick as possible. And it's usually within those first two questions that you ask that they're going to either, you're going to retreat and let them hang up, or you're going to keep barreling forward. Hey, my name is Daniel, local real estate agent, calling to see when you're going to be interviewing, calling about the home for sale on New York Ave. Is this the owner? Yeah. Who's this? Yeah. Are you an agent? Yeah. Great question. Just noticed the home came off the market. Wanted to reach out and see when you're going to be interviewing agents again for the job of getting it sold. We're not. Or we're going to do it in a month. Totally understand. I can appreciate that, Mr. and Mrs. Seller. Share with me. Looks like on a great block. Pictures look great. Was there a particular reason you were looking to sell the property in the first place? Get that motivation. And once you get it, hey, in terms of time frame, because that's what's most important here for you, how soon you looking to make that transition happen? All right. Now they'll tell you, well, a month ago, 6 months ago, the house never sold. So, we're not moving, we have to change our plans. Because remember, whatever they had in their minds as far as moving is now out the window. They have to refigure out everything because the home never sold. And we are like the last people on earth they want to talk to because the agent didn't sell it the first time. So this is where your gumption and your power has to come through. And you have to push through that. Once you do, and they start talking to you, because again, most agents aren't going to ask them about why they're selling it. And look, they're going to tell you why why they were looking to move. You get the time frame, and then you can say something along the lines of, hey, I'm looking at the picture. It looks in really great shape. Obviously you're on a New York Ave, you're on a great block. I'm a little confused. What stopped the home from selling? What do you think stopped it from selling? Now they're going to verbally vomit everything that they hate about their agent. You guys suck. Agent told me this. Agent told me that. And you're going to listen to all of this. Hey, man, totally appreciate that. Wow. Yeah, sounds like you just weren't getting the service that you expected when you listed the property in the first place. Yeah, you can say that again. If you don't mind me asking, what would you expect from the next agent that you hire? What are your expectations? Hey, sell the damn property. I got to get down to Miami. Or, communicate with me more often. My agent never communicated with me. And the only time they ever called me was when they wanted to take price reductions, which is crazy to me too. Because I can teach you methods on how to keep in touch with them. So when you do take price reductions, it's not a big shock to them because you're talking to them every week. So now you have that. Okay, so it sounds like you really just weren't getting the service that you expected to receive when you hired this agent. Yeah, that's right. So what are you going to expect from the next agent that you hire? Communicate with me. Be really aggressive with marketing it because I don't feel like they didn't do any open houses. They didn't do this. They didn't do that. Okay. Well, I'm hearing a couple of things, very clearly here. Number one is it sounds like you would definitely sell the property if you got the number that you were looking for as far as, selling the home. Number two, and more importantly, it sounds like you just weren't getting the service and, the customer service you expected to receive when you hired this agent. May I make a suggestion? And they're going to be like, yeah, this is where you close. Love to simply pop by, Mr. and Mrs. Seller. Take a look at what the home has to offer in person. And when I'm there, we'll discuss two things very clearly. Number one, what changes we need to make to this home as far as marketing and getting it out there so we can get bona fide, qualified offers on this beautiful home. Number two is your net bottom line. What you can realistically expect to receive when you guys are at the closing table and you're signing papers to close. That's an assumptive close right in there. In your head and in theirs, now they're already at the closing table. Okay? Now, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, whether it's now or later, could be me, maybe even somebody else. But at least you've met with the top agent in your area. You'll have all the information you need to make the best decision you can for your home. Does that sound fair to you? What do you think they're going to say to that? Yeah, subtle things you can ask. Like in my pre-qual, hey, or in the listing presentation, I'll be walking around and be like, so I'm noticing there's a lot of furniture here. When I start to bring buyers through and they're making offers, am I including the furniture? It's an assumptive close. You know how many times I do that in my presentation? I do it like 5-6 times. I just added them in. In my pre-qual, what's one of my pre-qual? So, hey, I noticed that you did mention to me that you have a small mortgage on the property, about $250,000. Is that correct? Yeah. So, okay, were you thinking you wanted to act like a bank, maybe hold a note or hold paper for a buyer? Or are you thinking you just want to get all your cash at the closing when we're there signing papers? No, I want to get my money at the closing. Okay, great. So something close. In your mind, psychologically, and in their mind, they're already there. So I do that, again, 5 and 6 times in the expired call, in the pre-qual, right after the expired call, and then in the listing presentation itself. I'm going in there to get the appointment. I'm not going in there as like, this isn't like a fact-finding mission where I'm going to tell them what their property's worth and then I leave and they go and list with someone else. No, I'm getting signatures on the listing agreement. That's why I'm there. And I truly and wholeheartedly believe there's anybody that can do it better than I can in my area. So that's what, I mean, again, I've beaten top agents and I've lost to top agents. And that's how the ball bounces. But you got to have that confidence and the skill to go in there and, whether it's a $200,000 home or a $2 million home, it doesn't matter. You got to have the skills to walk in there and know that, you are the best for the job and you have the skills to do it. Because think about it. Everybody, when I say to somebody like, what separates you from their agent? Well, I work really hard. I'm going to be there for my clients, all the time, whenever they call. Everybody can do it. Everybody does that. Everybody's going to be there for them when they call. Everybody's going to work hard. What do I tell them? Well, I have the skills to get you bona fide offers, and I have the negotiating skills to get those offers up to the absolute max, and most of those buyers are willing to pay for you. Those are the skills that I have. And I'm going to demonstrate that skill right in front of you by asking for your signature on this contract. Because I'm going to imagine that's going to be very important for you and the agent that you hire. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Awesome. So let's get to work today. Any other questions before we take care of the paperwork? This is what changed my life, proximity. I got into proximity almost 10 years ago. I started coaching with Mike Ferry. I loved it. It was great. That's how I initially got scripted. I wanted to go in another direction. I didn't feel like I was getting the value that I wanted with the money I was paying. No. Okay, great. And you get the paperwork done. So assumptive close.